Welcome back to One Piece Anime Re-Review, episode number 67. Reviewing episodes 811 to 814 of One Piece, and it's also continuing the Whole Cake arc. Now, in these 4 episodes, you might be asking Nick, is there any new characters pop up in this one? Yes. Unlike last time, where we had like a good dozen of them, this time, only one. Yes. Smoothie. That is her name. She's voiced by Dawn Bennett, and I've seen her in a lot of series. Series like Fairy Tail. Yes, she was in Fairy Tail. She's the voice of Froosh. Oh yeah, she was the talking cat. Yeah. Let's see. She is also in Overlord as Buki Munkachunga. Yeah, the creator of the two twin elves. She is also in Love Tyrant, great series. I really enjoyed it. She's in Black Clover's sister Lily. She was Suzune in Time of Crown, even reprised over for Slime Diaries. She's Shion in Tokyo Re, not the same one appearing in that series, different one. Not appearing in Time of Crown, different character. Let's see the ones I've seen, anyways. She's also in How Real Is Hero of the Kingdom. She's Maria. She's in The Rise of the Shield Hero as Ekanor. And that's it. Ekanor Zeto. About a dozen series. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yep. Smoothie is a very tall woman, and she's only 35. And she looks great. Yep. So, in these episodes, we get a few advancements, some story arcs here. In the case of Luffy and Nami, they actually... Luffy continues his fight with the Fury Army, where he also goes to a hallucination, episode 811, by Big Mom's second son. I think his name is the one who's got Death Power here. If I can find his name here. The one with the book, it's Malatora. The one with, him and, well, the other guy who was Minister Cream, ended up trapping Luffy. In the case of Nami, well, the giant tree, he gets chopped in half. And eventually Nami gets trapped by, of course, not Emilia. She takes it's one of the Era siblings, the one who's got the horns and a pink dress. Yeah, after she kind of basically immobilizes Nami, then she receives to open up the front of her dress. Not completely to show off her boobs. No, not that. Just so she can dig inside of her dress to retrieve a Viva card. Yeah, from a guy's perspective, it's like, oh goody, some fan service, even though it's Nami. I'm not sure how Lucy Christian felt about this particular scene. I'm sure she probably liked it, or probably didn't like the fact that Nami got her top ripped open, or in front of her top ripped open, but like, oh, this Viva card she got from Lola. But it's Mama's Viva card. Imagine, oh yeah, she got from Lola. Like, you killed her. No, I didn't kill her. She's my friend. Yep. And then, of course, they're both taken away. Of course, Luffy insists has his fingers dragged into the ground. But in order to get him to move, one of Big Mom's sons proceeds to punch him in the head multiple times. And then he finally moves. And they basically pinned him as a freaking book. Yeah, they pretty much put this like nail. They put this right through both their hands. Not only Luffy's hands, also Nami's too. By the way, when they got the book later, the hand's perfectly fine. So Luffy tries to escape but can't. Then of course, basically, well, basically conversation with Big Mom. Like, oh, it reminds about she reminds him about what happened in, well, Fishman Island. And, of course, basically, talk about how Lola, the fact she's fine. And, of course, bringing the fact costs a political marriage. What kind of political marriage? Who to? Giants. Yes, she really wanted to marry off her daughter to a giant. By the way, Lola was 6 years old when she tried to basically hand off her daughter, her 6-year-old daughter, to marry to a giant. I'm like, okay, arranged marriage is one thing, but a 6-year-old arranged marriage with a giant is a stupid idea. Yeah, and Luffy probably agrees basically that, not the fact it was 6, probably the whole idea. It's like, It was a choice. And of course, just basically tells Big Mom, "Well, come here. I'm gonna kick your butt." She's like, "Nah, I have other stuff to deal with." And of course, then we also now I'm gonna continue with Luffy Nami for a bit before we talk about other stuff. Then we have Pudding show up. Where before I talk about Pudding, and of course that leads into the finale of 814. Let's talk about Brook and Carrot. Not Brook and Carrot. Chopper and Carrot. Where they continue to fight Briley for a while until they're briefly supposedly captured. Though it's mostly just, well, tricked. It's later revealed in the next episode that Chopper is captured as a hard point. But Carrot is not you think of Carrot's Chopper. Nope. It's just Carrot basically doing a voiceover. Yes, seriously, a voiceover. Then, of course, after a while, then she eventually escapes and knocks apparently the chopper they have, the Carrot they have, hold over this boiling pot. Like, by the way, Burley's portrayed like a witch. And they mention that this thing is actually a frog. Yeah, it's a frog. And eventually the thing is knocked over, Breely is burning. And of course, Chopper goes to Monster Point. First, basically shrinks down to normal size. Then he goes to Monster Point, and he proceeds to basically just fight everybody. And that's it for that part there. In the case of Brook and Pedro, they finally play a role first time in a bit, where we have Brook just going to the treasury, finds the rope polyglot they were looking for. Buzz last year. This is where we're introduced to Smoothie for the first time, and she's here with Baron Tamongo. Yes, if you're curious, Baron Tamongo was first introduced way back in Fishman Island. That's when he was first introduced. And I like the fact he's here. Makes sense. He works Big Mom, so of course he's here. So eventually, Pedro comes. They basically both agree Pedro to be decoy while Brook sneaks to the treasure room to get the Royal Pornoglyph. Big Mom, who finds out what they true later, thinks that they're after the Taturdi box, the one that got Fishman Island. Well, no, they're not. They have no idea what's inside that box. You see what's actually inside the box, and as he mentions back at Fishman Island, which just to play a role here, there's explosives in the damn box, which that's going to play a little bit later on here. So, Sanji, of course, basically, agrees to have him and Pudding marry. He, of course, talked Big Mom to let Luffy go, but it'll be fine, but she lies anyways. We all see her basically showing around the Volsmog family to her creepy library, where she's got real-life animals in these pinned down these books. Heck, they mentioned about like a human lion creature that she got that apparently escaped from Impel Down. They mentioned that Blackbeard did it. That's partially true, but Luffy was responsible for it. Yep. She also mentioned she got a hand on a unicorn from Punk Hazard. Yes, seriously. Great. It mentions that those really good story arcs. Punk Hazard is not an arc that people talk very much, but Impel Down, it's a beloved story arc from what I've heard. Yep. So, yeah, and the Volsmog find this very creepy. And eventually she's informed by one of her men that Luffy's been captured, and instead of going to see personally, she talks to her via a transponder snail. But in the case of Brook, he basically breaks in, no problem. And of course, in order to disrupt the check pieces, he plays his music. He is so music. Play on the massive fish guitar he's got. He's like, oh yeah, and he just plays away, and all the chess pieces just, by the way, they're all imbued with pieces of Big Mom's soul, so they basically all fall apart because of his playing, which is so awesome. I heard at one point he was considered, at this point of the arc, he was considered the MVP of this arc because he is a freaking badass in this arc. Yeah, he is. I think, was anything else? Well, Sanji, of course, paces back and forth in his room, get flowers, and then, of course, he gets flowers for Pudding, and that's it for him. Not much advancement for him here. Well, not so, but later. In the case of Pudding, who shows up at the end of the episode of 814, tells Nami that, Sanji's agreed to marry her, and they're all shocked about it. By the way, Nami basically mentions that before she shows up, I can really use a shower because she's covered in syrup. Nah, we're probably going to kill you anyways. yeah, I think I remember in the sub, she referred to the Minister Kim calling him like Big Brother, but here it's like, oh, you're here. Yeah, it's almost like the dub actor basically just didn't really care. I'm not really sure what it seems like. He just like, oh, you're here. Yeah, it's almost like it's very flat in delivery. I'm not sure what's going on with him per se. Yeah, I have nothing against the voice actor, but man, that seemed like the delivery felt a little bit flat. Like, oh, you're here. Now, it could be also the fault of the sub actor too. When I originally watched this 5 years ago, but it's been 5 years and watched the episode, so who knows? Yep. And yeah, that's pretty much it here. By the way, in case you're curious though, what chapters they cover in these? Well, in these 4 episodes, they cover 846 to 848, and they cover the first 4 pages of chapter 849. So, good amount here. Yep. But yes, that's going to be pretty much it for Stickler Review. So next episode is Comic Corner, and then after that, it's going to be Slime Diaries. Okay? Next video. Bye.